Welcome to Metal Bands Chronicles, where metal lives! We're back for another damn album review here on Metal Bands Chronicles, where metal lives! That's right, let's get on with it. Okay, so we're going to talk about something that came out on Nuclear Blast Records back on June 21st of 2024 this year, just a couple weeks ago. That's right. We're talking about this, the re-recording of Schizophrenia by Cavalera. Last year we talked about Morbid Visions and Bestial Devastation when they came out and were re-recorded. Gotta say, I really enjoyed those two, so I was pretty excited about this one, ironically. And normally I could give two shits about re-recordings, but I think the Cavalera's done a hell of a job on Morbid Visions and Bestial Devastation. At least I think so. Anyways, so this one, wow. I was actually pumped for this one, like I said, obviously. And I'll say right now, this is my favorite Sepultura album. That's the original right there. Well, I think this is like a 1990 reissue, if I remember correctly, because this has a re-recording of Schizophrenia on it. Or not Schizophrenia, Troops of Doom on it from that time period, which is not on here, obviously, because it was re-recorded for Morbid Visions. So yeah, this, I gotta say, I think this sounds pretty stellar too. You know, again, updated production, still kind of has like a raw energy to it, and I like how, you know, Max's vocals have that reverb added to them, you know, to make it sound more fucking just badass, you know. I wish more bands would go back to using reverb on their albums instead of just making it sound stock, you know. But anyways, I think it sounds freaking cool now compared to vocals, you know, Max 1987 to Max 2024. In comparison, you know, obviously Max was younger back then. I mean, for what they were on the original Schizophrenia, they sounded cool, pretty primitive sounding, you know. Obviously here, Max sounds extremely fucking pissed off on this. You know, you can definitely tell this is modern day Max Cavalera when it comes to the vocal delivery, and he sounds pissed on this re-recording. I noticed some of the lyrics were changed. There was some parts changed, like on To the Wall. I noticed there was like an extension near the end of it. The intro, ironically titled the intro, is different compared to the 87 version. The 87 kind of sounded like a cheesy horror movie, you know, from like the 70s or something with that intro. Where this one just sounds like a nuclear apocalypse. It sounds like the end of days. It sounds like the last days of the world, where everything's in just brutal chaos. You know, that's what it sounds like to me. Anyways, if you hear fireworks, it is the 4th of July as we record this, so bear with me. So yeah, this sounds freaking good now. You got Mike Stone, obviously, doing the lead guitar work. He comes from the grindcore band Nauseum, you know, which is a band from the mid-2000s, like late 90s, mid-2000s period, which is a killer grindcore band, and he does a phenomenal job. I think he plays Andreas Kisser's parts perfectly, almost. He does a really good job as far as the lead guitar work goes. We already talked about Max. Max sounds fucking brutal and pissed off as ever. Let's talk about Igor Cavalera, the drummer. You know, I think Igor is one of the most underrated drummers when it comes to extreme metal. You know, thrash metal, early death metal, whatever you want to call it. This guy can freaking play. And man, the drumming on here, I mean, his drumming on the 1987 version was good. It was definitely an improvement from, you know, Bestial Devastation and Morbid Visions. But, God, all these years later, it just sounds like he's beating the fuck out of his drum kit when he's playing this and re-recording this. I mean, he does the triplets perfectly. Everything just sounds more intensified when it comes to the drums and the performance in general. You know, this kind of has more of a death metal leaning to in certain parts of this, you know. This is fucking awesome shit. I like this re-recording. I know some people aren't going to like it probably. Hey, I still love the original too, don't get me wrong. The only one I wasn't crazy about at first was Let me look at the tracks here. Oh yeah, it would be the instrumental track, The Abyss. I gotta admit, I do like the 87 version of that better when Andreas is playing that classical part. On this one, it's very simplified. It still sounds cool, don't get me wrong. But man, yeah, I still like the 87 version of The Abyss with that classical acoustic piece that Andreas played on the original. That might be the only slight downfall to this. Man, but the performances on here, like Schizo, Schizo sounds freaking killer. To the Wall, Escape to the Void, Inquisition, Sympathy, you know, R.I.P. Rest in Pain. Fuck yeah, you know, From the Past Comes the Storm, you know. It all sounds good, man. It all sounds good. And you get this new track. I guess it's a new track. Maybe it's an old track left over. I don't know. You got this new track called Nightmares of Delirium, because obviously they weren't going to re-record, Troops of Doom. I think the track sounds cool, man. I think it would have fit the original Schizophrenia album. It's real thrashy in that style, you know. It's really good. I like it, you know. Yeah, this is good, man. I really enjoy this re-recording. You know, yeah, it's a re-recording. I'll give it like an 8.5 out of 10. I think it's good. But man, I gotta say right now, it sounds like they're planning to re-record all the Max era Sepultura albums. I kind of get it to an extent, but man, I don't think Beneath the Remains and Arise really need re-recorded. Will I check them out? Yeah. And Chaos AD and Roots, I could give two shits about. Those albums freaking suck. 8.5 out of 10, man. That's my review of this re-recording. Keep it metal and keep on banging them heads. And make sure you hit the like and subscribe buttons. All right, I'm out.